Welcome to the week 3 of English 7 with the topic Past and Perfect Tenses. I am Gilmark Navilla, your English teacher. This lesson focuses on the grammatical features of past and perfect tenses. This lesson highlights clear distinction between the two and how they interact in forming clear and coherent sentences. You are expected to indicate past actions using past and past perfect tense of the verb. Use the past and past perfect tenses correctly in varied contexts. Show understanding of the past and past perfect tenses. Now, let's have this learning task 1. Copy and solve the crossword puzzle. So this is our crossword puzzle. So in a cross, you need to give the past tense of the words find, write, have, spend, take, bite, become, meet, run, and set. While on the down part, you need to give the past tense of rise, feel, do, be, hit, put, keep, shoot, lost, come, bet, bend, and meet. I try giving one answer on the down part, which is in rise, which is the past tense of rise is rose. Now, it's your turn to answer the crossword puzzle. I hope you got all the correct answers for the puzzle. Let's move on to learning task number 2. Answer the statements below by boxing the past perfect tense, circling the simple past tense, and underlining the time expression used in each sentences. Are you ready? Let's have first this example. The sentence is, he had told me before that he was in Europe. So the past perfect tense in the sentence is had told, while the simple past tense is was. And before is the time expression. So this will be the looks of your answer on the learning task. Here is number 1. The storm had landed on land before classes were suspended. I answer number 1 so that you can have an idea on how to answer this activity. In this sentence, had landed is the past perfect tense. That's why I put box on the words had landed. While before is the time expression, that's why I put underline on the word before. While were suspended is in simple past form. That's why I put circle in these words. Now, number 2. He was very happy after he had found his watch. Number 3. He had broken his eyeglasses before he told his mother. Number 4. By the time the flood came, the farmers had harvested the rice. Number 5. He succeeded after he had worked so hard. Next, number 6. Before it rained hard, the farmers had planted the rice. Number 7. He had gone to college before he was awarded a scholarship. Number 8. After he had taught hard, he answered the teacher's question. Number 9. When the girls had made the sandwiches, The boys brought the juice. Number 10. After we had talked for a long time, she left her phone. Okay? I hope you can get all the correct answers for this task number 2. Now let's move on to let's talk about it in the discussion. So our topic is simple past and past perfect tenses. The simple past tense of the verb is used to express an action that happened and ended in the past. For the regular verbs, past tense end with D or ED, while irregular verbs form their past usually by either changing or retaining their spelling. Commonly, simple past is signaled by time indicators in the past. Example, last week, yesterday, a year ago, and there are so many more type expression that we can use for that matters. Examples, Victoria and Hilario visited their grandparents yesterday. The simple past tense in the sentence is visited, and visited is in regular verb. As you notice, visited ends with ed. That's why it is a regular verb. Next example, Adoracion and Mauro both grocery items. The simple past tense in the sentence is both, which is the past tense of the verb buy. So, from buy, it became both. That's why it is a regular verb because it changed in spelling. Did you get the difference between regular verb and irregular verb? Here are some lists of regular verbs. But I said, regular verbs are simply changed by adding D or ED at the end of the word of the verb. You can look for more in the internet. Here are the other example for the common irregular verbs. As I mentioned, most of the words of irregular verbs change in spelling or retain on its spelling. But still, you need to learn and research for more irregular verbs so that you can have a wider vocabulary of the irregular verbs. Let's move on to the past perfect tense. Past perfect tense narrates past actions and events. A sentence that uses past perfect tense provides two actions in the past, wherein the first past action or condition is completed ahead of another past action. It means there are two actions that already happened in the past. Let's have this. It is usually formed using the following structures. In ordinary form, you need to put had plus past participle of the verb. So the past participle of the verb, as you have noticed, you can see it on the pictures that I've shown to you a while ago. While on the continuous form, had been plus the verb and add ing. Let's have this example. Mercy had eaten her breakfast before Juanito asked her to do so. So in the sentence, the past perfect tense is had eaten. As you notice, had eaten is composed of the word had And eaten is the past participle of the verb eat. That's why it became had eaten. And before is the time expression, while ask stand as simple past tense. Let's have this idea. If we're going to analyze the situation, had eaten happened first before the ask. That's why had eaten became the past perfect tense and ask became the simple past tense. There are time expressions used in indicating past perfect tense, such as after, as soon as, the moment that, and until are used before the past perfect tense, while before, when, and by the time are used before the simple past. So those time expression can help you to analyze which is the past perfect tense and the simple past in the sentence. Let's have this another example. When Flor called him, Nestor had been planting the seeds. So the time expression in the sentence is when. And the simple past tense is called. While had been planting is in the past perfect continuous. Delia had prayed the rosary by the time Ben arrived. Had prayed is in the past perfect tense, while the by the time is the time expression, and arrive stands as past tense. Example, Ray had finished the movie before Susan told him to sleep. Had finished is the past perfect tense. Before is the time expression. And told is the past tense. Another example. After Stella had finished the dress, Francis sold the item. After stands as time expression. Had finished is the past perfect tense, and sold is the past tense. The moment that Maki had left his house, Mia prayed for his safety. The moment is the time expression, while had left is the past perfect tense, and prayed is the past tense of the sentence. Next example. As soon as Gina and Dodong had received their license, they started driving their own car. As soon as is the time expression of the sentence. Had received is the past perfect tense. And started is the simple past tense. Now, did you understand the past perfect tense in the simple past tense? Let's have this learning task number 3. Choose the correct past perfect tense of the verb in each sentence. But remember this, in ordinary form of the past perfect tense, it is always accompanied by the word had plus past participle of the verb. While in continuous form, it is had been plus verb and ing. Now, are you ready? Number 1. The witness had testify, had testifying, had testified before the court adjourned. Number 2. I went to school after I had recovered, have recovered, has recovered from my sickness. Number 3. He has read, had read, had reading the novel before he saw the movie. Number 4. By the time I arrived home, he had went, had go, had gone to bed. Number 5. I asked him to pay my watch since he had lost, had losing it. I hope you got all the correct answer in this learning task. Let's move on to learning task number 4. Give the past perfect tense form of the verbs in the parentheses. But please remember the form that we have on the past perfect tense. Number 1. The verb is read. The sentence, after I blank Helen Keller's story of my life, I prepared a report on it. Next number. Number 2. The verb is write. The sentence is, Jose Rizal blank no limitangere before he worked on El Filibusterismo. Number 3. The verb is leave. Sentence is, before you arrived, the participants blanked the library. Number 4. The verb is go. By the time the principal announced the meeting, some of the teachers blank home. Number 5. When I asked for the receipt, she blank it to the wrong person. I hope you can provide all the correct past perfect tense on each verb. Now, let's move on to learning task number 5. Copy and complete the dialogues. Number 1. What household chores had you done when mother arrived? I choose to answer number 1 so that you can have a pattern on what to answer on the following numbers. But please, do not copy my answer. You can provide your own. My answer is, I had washed the dishes when mother arrived. I used had washed, which is in past perfect tense. So, you must always use the past perfect tense in answering all the questions or completing the dialogue. Number 2. What tasks had the students accomplished before the teacher came? Number 3. What had happened when his father returned home from Saudi Arabia? Number 4. What had Dulce accomplished before she was chosen as best student in English? Number 5. What numbers in the program had been presented when the guest arrived late? I hope you can provide all the possible answers on the dialogues. Now let's move on to learning task number 6. Answer the statements below by boxing the past perfect tense, circling the simple past tense, and underlining the time expression used in each sentences. This is the same as what we have done in learning task number 2. And I also answer number 1 in this question so that you can have the idea or the guide on what to do on the following Numbers. Number 1. He had told me before that he was in Europe. So had told is the past perfect tense. That's why I put box on the words. Before is the time expression. That's why I put underline on it. And was is in the simple past tense. That's why I encircle it. Now it's your turn. Let's start with number 2. The storm had landed on land before classes were suspended. Number 3. He was very happy after he had found his watch. Number 4. He had broken his eyeglasses before he told his mother. Number 5. By the time the flood came, the farmers had harvested the rice. Number 6. He succeeded after he had worked so hard. Number 7. Before it rained hard, the farmers had planted the rice. Number 8. He had gone to college before he was awarded a scholarship. Number 9. After he had thought hard, he answered the teacher's question. Number 10. When the girls had made the sandwiches, the boys brought the juice. 11. After we had talked for a long time, she left her phone. Number 12. I said nothing until she had finished talking. Number 13. Before I knew it, the baby had run to the gate. Number 14. I mopped the floor after the carpenter had gone. Number 15. By the time Jules got to the birthday celebration, everyone had gone home. I hope you got all the correct answer in this learning task. Now let's move on to learning task number 7. Copy and complete the dialogues using the pattern. Indicate the appropriate use of simple past and past perfect tenses. Are you ready? So this is the dialogue. Take time to answer this dialogue, and I hope you can provide all the possible answers on this dialogue. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Good luck!